Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Green, anchor for Data Cloud Now and host of the Snowflake Startup Challenge. Today, I'm in New York City on the iconic floor of the New York Stock Exchange, and I'm delighted to be joined by Stephan Williams, VP Corp Dev for Snowflake Ventures. Stephan, great to have you on the program today.
Thank you, Ryan. Pleasure to be here.
For the second straight year, the New York Stock Exchange is partnering with the Snowflake Startup Challenge. Why is this initiative so important?
Look, I think it's an incredible platform and forum for startups to be part of. When I think about 2 years ago, when the New York Stock Exchange came to our office in San Mateo, and we kind of were, I guess, riffing as to what we could do to really bring them into the ecosystem that's building on top of Snowflake, the startups that are coming in and around the ecosystem, to where we've come today, to be on this floor, to be part of the closing bell process, which is it's really it's a career milestone. And I think for startups that are thinking about the opportunity of joining the Startup Challenge, just being part of this, being part of history, being up on that stage, having the chance to ring the bell, hopefully inspires and catalyzes thinking and efforts and their hopes and desires to become long and enduring companies, and hopefully they get a second chance to stand up there when they go public.
You know, I want to dive into this partnership a little bit. How do the collective missions and visions of both Snowflake and the New York Stock Exchange align?
This concept of kind of connecting people is resonating pretty well across both organizations. I think at Snowflake, I know obviously being part of Snowflake Ventures and really trying to grow a community and an ecosystem on top of a platform, helping companies have the ability and a window into building, developing on best of breed technology with the data platform and the data cloud, helping them kind of become long and enduring companies. And I think with the New York Stock Exchange, they're very much interested in helping provide value to these companies that are going through this transition of being kind of incubating, starting, and ultimately being an enduring company. And they bring a tremendous amount of value to the table, not only the platform that they serve and what they do as a foundation of their business, but also who they bring to the table as it relates to some of these public companies and the exposure and access that we're bringing to startups that are part of the challenge. They get some really unique opportunities with the New York Stock Exchange being part of that. So we're super happy to have them as a sponsor, as a partner, and they're definitely bringing a lot to the table as it relates to what we're doing with the challenge.
You know, I want to take a step back for a moment and reflect on this last year's challenge. What surprised you most?
We started this is the third year going now into the fourth. I think just macro points are the volume and the variety and the scale of the companies that have been coming in has been extremely exciting. We've had companies from all corners of the world, from a country perspective, solving use cases and problems that, quite frankly, I wouldn't have thought of. And so the imagination and the power of entrepreneurs coming to the platform and solving real world problems with data, it's so inspiring and refreshing to see. So we went from a couple hundred applicants in the first year, nearly 300 in the second year, and I think over 600 in the third year. And I think with some of the platform developments that are happening and the partnership we've got with the New York Stock Exchange and all the really interesting things for startups to come and unlock when they become part of this process, I can only imagine it being bigger and better and stronger going forward.
I want to pivot slightly. As you mentioned earlier, you're part of Snowflake Ventures. Why is it so important for Snowflake to have this venture arm, and how does it impact Snowflake's overall corporate objectives on a day-to-day basis?
Look, many companies have corporate venture arms. I think Snowflake really sees this as a strategic lever. We are trying to really heighten and invest in companies that are doubling down on the data cloud, the vision of what the data cloud is and the community that's building around it. Ultimately, how are we bringing kind of disparate technologies built on the same platform together in a seamless way to serve real world problems, to broaden the tentacles of Snowflake to areas outside of kind of where Snowflake typically is selling into? As I think about the CRO, the CFO, the CISO, the executives, and in addition to the different industries. And so ventures really comes into play when we can really invest in companies that are proving value, integrating into the best of breed functionality that Snowflake's got to offer, driving customer success. An investment really can help fuel the motions of what is working well, but also aligns from a very executive level the the executives as to what's the North Star, what's the 6, 12, 9-month product perspective, product roadmap, product integrations that we're starting to think about that's really going to drive, incremental and more value for our customers above and beyond what would be a regular partnership. And I think Ventures is really meant for those types of opportunities.
Well, I really appreciated your time, your insights. Any final remarks you'd like to deliver to the audience watching today, Stephan?
When I look forward, obviously everything that's happened today is extremely exciting, and we've been overwhelmed by the number of companies coming to the platform. I think we're at a really interesting point in time, especially when we think about the generative AI capabilities with Snowpark, with native applications. The concept of entrepreneurs coming together and solving enterprise-grade problems and having a seat at the table and an ability to sell, having a data platform to build on top of, having a monetization engine, having go-to-market traction and the sales motion and the sales cycles being significantly less, and being able to do that all in a secure and governed way, powered on top of the Snowflake data platform it's an incredible proposition. And I think that if I was a founder, if I'm a startup, the barriers to entry to go and build a world-class technology company are lower than ever. And I think Snowflake's an incredible platform to think about when you're building a company. And so, I'm just looking forward to next year, the 2024 competition that we all announced yesterday at the closing bell. So I'm super excited to see what's to come.
An exciting next chapter for Snowflake and the New York Stock Exchange. Stephan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Ryan.
And for the audience watching, we hope to see you in San Francisco at the grand finale of the Snowflake Startup Challenge.